Hello and welcome to our preview for the African Regional Conference 2016. I'm James King, the banker's Middle East and Africa editor, and I'm joined today by Sido Bestani, who is Swift's head of the Middle East, Africa and Turkey. Sido, welcome back to the View From series. It's good to see you again.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now, this is the 23rd year of the African Regional Conference. What role do you see it playing across Africa today?
Indeed. So it's been the 23rd year. I mean, the Swift African Regional Conference has been growing over the years. Now we have more than 400 to 500 people attending this conference. It is now maybe one of the largest financial conference in the region. Actually, the conference is is threefold, three objectives. One of them is networking. Obviously, you need to have people getting together, discussing the topics of interest for them. The second is exhibitors. You have some exhibitors, whether they are banks or vendors. So for the attendees, to know what's going on in the market. And third, and not last actually, which is more important, is the conference itself. So this is about discussing about the challenges and opportunities in Africa. Topics of interest for the industry, such as this year we will have information around a panel discussion around disruptive technology, about corporate, what's the way forward for the corporates in Africa, securities business, how should it grow in the future in the context of the crisis that we have in Africa. So these are basically the main objective of the conference.
Now, one of the hot topics this year concerns the outlook for correspondent banks. What are the key challenges facing correspondent banks in the African context?
I mean, if we take a step back globally, the correspondent bank is going through difficult times nowadays for two main reasons, I would say. The first one would be because you have more demanding customer. We are actually more demanding. We want to make sure that we have our money on time. We want to make sure that we're not paying too much fees on that. So this is what is one of the driving theme that we have. The second also is we have those those fintech which is coming into the market. In Africa, you have the M-Pesa, for example, which is a well-known example. So those new institutions are kind of disintermediating. They are more peer-to-peer, and they are actually helping also more the financial inclusion. Because many of those customers in Africa are non-banked, so this is more catered for them. So basically, Swift as a cooperative, we're there, to help the community, the banking members, and see, how can we help continue to have, correspondent bank. And basically, is to say, we can reuse our network, reuse the standard that we have, maybe enhance it. So at the end of the day, we are going to be able for cross-border payment to provide a more transparent fees. So this falls under the initiative we currently have, which is the Global Payment Initiatives, which gather around 45 banks around the world, the most important banks, making sure that we have this initiative going on.
Okay, fantastic. And looking ahead, obviously, one of the key topics for the conference is going to be looking at financial crime compliance. And how well are African banks managing to balance issues of cost versus issues of risk?
Indeed. So if we take a step back, needless to say that there has been a lot of regulation over the last few years, international regulation, but also domestic regulation for the banks, to comply with that. So banks have to make a lot of investment to make sure that they're doing the right things. The challenge that the African continent is facing is most of those banks in Africa are small and medium banks. So that's the reason why we've been working very closely with them to find let's say a solution for them, to making sure that they are going to comply, which is something more affordable for them. So basically, the sanction screening product that we have at Swift, it is definitely catering for this kind of request. And we've been working also very closely with the central banks. So why the central banks? Because then they are the ones who are mandating this type of tools for the banks to make sure they are complying with international regulation. And as an example, we have Nigeria and Ghana who have enforce this to their local banks.
Okay, well, Sido, thank you again for your time. It's great to see you, and I look forward to seeing you again in a few weeks.
Indeed, in Mauritius. Thank you.
Thank you.